I got
this
one
one
more
go over here to Texas A&M and Arkansas.
Aha! Yeah, A&M was my best bet of the week last week. That was my show pick on the our Saturday morning show. I had them like A&M in the first half, minus the 3.5, whatever the heck it was back then. But I just, the way I, it was a simple cap for me, that particular spot there, because they got not that they got embarrassed because App State, like I said, nobody wants to play App State. Ask a lot of these other schools about playing App State, but App State, they kind of they got them. They ambushed them and they got them where they wanted. The lack of offense is a concern for A&M, and it showed up in that game, and it almost showed up in the Miami game. But that defense was so lit against Miami last week. I mean, I don't think there was many teams that could have went into College Station and beat A&M last week. Just my opinion, Now, be that as it may, you got a very capable Arkansas team here, the top 10 football team. And the weird thing about it is, they're in all the polls. But if you go to that site that we like to use, Team Rankings, you go up and down the predictive ratings there, and there's not one mention of Arkansas like in the top 35. I mean, I scrolled it all the way down, and UCF is in there before Arkansas is, which is befuddling to me. I'm like, how the hell is that even possible? But Arkansas is a well-rounded football team. A&M cannot go in there with the mindset that, they're going to win it on the backs of the defense, because there's a guy on the other side of the field, KJ Jefferson. They got to account for him all times of the day. They didn't have that last week with Miami with Van Dyke, excuse me. Miami, their first-year coach coming in, and they can't get caught sleeping here. I know they brought Max Johnson in, who was the quarterback at LSU. He started his first game last week against the Miami team. So Miami didn't play a bad game, but like I say, the big difference in that game was A&M didn't make the mistakes and the defense was lit. So that was more of a I want to say game manager type game, but Max Johnson had his struggles in that game too. So Arkansas is pretty good on defense. They're a little weak in the secondary, but I don't think A&M poses a big threat either. So coming off of that big win against Miami at home, now they come back, and I think this is at a neutral site, if I'm not mistaken. They classify it as A&M as a home team, but I don't know where the site is, but I don't think they're playing in College Station. I got to go back and look at that somewhere. I don't think this game is in College Station. It's at a neutral site somewhere. So I have to go back and verify that. But my first look here is, what? Did you find anything on the site, the location?
I'm looking it up right now.
All right. But I'll keep talking.
Arlington, Texas, AT&T Stadium.
Okay, so they're playing at Jerry's house. I think we should have known better, right? So, but anyways, I think the offensive woes of A&M trying to get things figured out. Defense are solid. Arkansas a little more balanced on offense. Not as good on defense, but I think they might present a little bit of an issue here for A&M going off back-to-back weeks of being short numbers, and then take College Station, take the 12th man out of the equation here. You know what? I'm going Arkansas plus the points, baby.
Hey, I like it, man. I think this is one of the teams that Jefferson can use what he does well to their advantage right here. So I mean, it's a reason why that line's right there, right? So I think I totally agree with that one. And then why not fade a team like Texas A&M coming out for a big win against Miami? Just a lot of good reasons to take Arkansas in this spot. And Arkansas can run the ball. But, teams that do the bases very well, like running and defense and stuff like that, they last a long time and go a long way. So I agree with that. I wish they would have gave a better number, though. I mean,
yeah, it's short.
2.5 is not much of nothing. Give me 3.5, and I'm feeling much better.
Yeah, I'm still trying to gauge that one to figure out which way. I haven't looked at the percentage of the bets or the action coming in on that game. I can get a quick look while you're looking up the next one if you got one. You got another game you're going to talk about?
I don't got another game. Well, I do have another game I want to talk about, but not a official play that I want to put out there.
Yeah.
But I really like Air Force The number was kind of, it's minus 24 in that one against Nevada. I know that there's something going on the Nevada's in the Nevada locker room, and we don't know what the end result of that's going to be. So they've been playing a little down lately. Now, I was thinking, like, why is Air Force coming off a loss and they want to lay 24 points? Well, I almost slipped my mind to mention that last week for Air Force, luckily I was on Wyoming because they were ill all week and they had very limited practice last week because many of the players caught some kind of virus or something. It wasn't COVID. They just got sick. Only one player that was meaningful didn't end up playing, but the fact that they didn't get to prepare well for that game could have contributed to the loss. So this week they're probably getting everybody back with much higher hopes and everything. And I don't really have any plays that I like because I don't like Boise laying all that points, and I don't like going against them as well. But I'm just going to take this little play just to have some action on Friday to be 100% right here, So I'm going to take this play on Friday, minus the 20 floor. I might take it first half. I might split the unit first half and full game and see how it comes out. But, teams like Nevada that's not doing well, you play a team like Air Force who's going to give it to you, and you eventually get pounded out. So I think that Air Force scores like 40, but I can't guarantee how many points Nevada scores or don't for it. But I know the coach over there, Ken Wilson, he's more of a defensive guy than an offensive guy. They were stripped of 8 of their offensive players when the coach went to Colorado State. So the offense is kind of like a remake, and the defense is his baby. But I don't think that defense is enough to stop. You got to take a week off. You want to take teams versus a military team whenever they had a week off to prepare for the option. But these guys never had a week off. They're going into this game against a well-ordered option attack, and they showed last week a little bit more that they can put the ball in the air a lot more too. Hadik Daniels actually threw that bad boy around a little bit last week. So I expect him to score on this one, and I'm going to take Air Force with the big number this week.
Yeah, we're seeing just the touch back on that Arkansas game, Texas A&M, DraftKings, and what's the other fantasy joint? Anyways, they got 1.5. So the numbers are varying. They're 1.5 to 2.5. So the numbers are starting to creep down on that game. So if you're thinking about jumping in on Arkansas, you might want to do it now because it's moving. And I think the percentages of the bets, I'm not sure how much of it's sharp, how much it's squares or whatever, but the money, most of the money and most of the bets are coming in on Arkansas right now. So, and the numbers move to full point. So, just FYI for you guys out there.